Good morning and welcome to my channel, PawfectPastimes. My name's Amanda, my friends call me Amo, and I live in Dorset in the southwest of England with my husband and my 3 dogs. Willow is behind me and there's a whole lot of snoring going on. If you're new here, you'll have to get used to the snoring. You're very, very welcome. Please consider liking and subscribing. And if you're coming back, thank you very much. And don't forget to leave a comment and the like button. If you could, that would be very much appreciated. Thank you. Okay, first of all, I must thank you all who voted for our rescue in the Pastimes, which is the pre-crufts build-up. I've got news for you, and that we actually won, and it was wonderful. If you're on my Instagram, you'll have seen the presentation. It was brilliant. 2 of the trustees, Sue and Natalie, went up there, and we were also presented with a £3,000 cheque in it. It was just wonderful. Absolutely over the moon for our little tiny rescue to get that kind of acknowledgement. I send all my thanks to you who voted. Thank you very much. It means a great deal to us. As I've said before, we're a tiny little rescue. There's only 5 trustees and 2 deal with the dogs. Natalie and I deal with things behind the scenes, and Sue deals with all the fundraising and things. And it's a very, can be sometimes traumatic thing to do. And a lot of the time it's heartwarming to find the dogs new homes where they are happy. It's not nice to have to give up your dog, but if you're strong enough to realise that your dog needs a new home, or circumstances, perhaps health or other traumatic things have made the dog need a new home, it's wonderful to find that new dog a good steady home. So it's a lovely thing to be a part of. And this kind of recognition means so much, so thank you again. Okay, this week I have some knitting, some crochet, a bit of sewing and some sketching, which I will probably do in that order. And I'll start with being British. The weather has turned grey again. I had a lovely couple of days out with Gwyn, and you'll have seen, I think it was Wednesday, I took her up for a long walk, which was absolutely beautiful. I was down to shirt sleeves. And again on Thursday, I played golf in shirt sleeves. It's gone grey and cold again now, but I was out and about and I spotted this sweatshirt and I thought of you lot. So there we go. Great British weather. And it's got sheep on it, which is appropriate for knitters. And mention of the weather because we are British, and if you're not in England or in Great Britain, thank you for putting up with our weird obsession with the weather. Anyway, I couldn't not buy this, and I was thinking of you lot that made me buy it. Anyway, just a quick update. I won't be here next weekend. It is Mothering Sunday, and some of you will know that Mother's Day is a bit bittersweet for me, having lost my son, but I'm spending the weekend with my daughter, which is very precious, and we are going somewhere very special to me on the Saturday. And you'll probably laugh when I tell you it is we're going to Cardiff to watch the Six Nations rugby. I am a bit of a rugby follower, and I've never seen a live big one, and daughter decided to treat me. We'll see how I get on. I do like watching rugby from my sofa, where I know there's a kettle and the loo just round the corner. So I am really looking forward to going to the big event up in Cardiff and watching a game of rugby, and then coming back to my daughter's house and spending a large part of Sunday with her and my granddaughter, which will be a very special Mothering Sunday. Right, on to the knitting. That's enough of a life catch-up. The Compton. I haven't got anything finished knitting-wise this week. Yes, the Compton is a pattern by the Knitting Shed, and I bought the pattern from Unravel a couple of years ago, and I started it, and you'll have watched me going through making the body. It's got the hearts at the bottom and hearts on the sleeves. So I have managed to finish the sleeve where I was last time, and I have joined it all together, and I have been working on the yoke. Just trying to untangle, because I'm at that awkward stage of having everything on the needles at once. Unusual construction in the fact that we've done this from the bottom up to the underarm, then the sleeves to the underarm, and then we've joined it in the yoke together. Why? So there is how far. I've just put it on a slightly shorter cable because obviously I'm decreasing as I go up the yoke. There's one of the sleeves with the heart on the bottom. I'm sure if you go back over some other I'm trying to show you the best. There's the heart at the bottom of the sleeve there, and there's 3 on the back and 3 on the front at the bottom. I've now joined the sleeves in at the top, and I'm just decreasing the yoke up to where the neckband will be created. There's the underarm sleeves that will be picked up later. I assume they'll be kitchen knit or something together. Started the decreases on the body section to give that little jog that you need underneath the arm, and now I'm decreasing on the sleeve section so that it gives it a kind of a cap, I think. The rib carries on all the way up, and there's another one on the sleeve. I'm really pleased with this so far. This yarn is Drops Lima mix, which is 65% wool and 35% alpaca, and it is colour 0701, which is Petrol. I'm hoping you can read that. There we go. Is that focusing? I have no idea. I can't see. So that is how far I've got on with my Compton, and now it's just round and round and round and decreasing every other round. I'm hoping I might get this finished for my next podcast, which will be in 2 weeks' time. I should actually have it finished by then. See all my sleeve increases there. I increased a little bit faster than the pattern asked for. I have larger upper arms and I wanted it a little bit wider at the top. So I'm really pleased with that. It's done on 375mm needles. Drops Lima, I think, is DK. Yeah, 4mm needles. So that would make that a DK, wouldn't it? It's done on 375. A nice feeling yarn though. So I'm hoping I might be wearing this next time I see you. over there. The next thing I did, because I finished my sweater last week. What was I doing last week? The dramer. I finished the dramer last week and I'm getting on with that. I thought I'd start the Baranduin. The Baranduin is a slip over by Fox and Folk. There's a picture of it there. And I got the yarn for this and I started the pattern, but I wasn't too sure. The pattern doesn't mention the back, the second side. It's done flat. You do up the front, you make the neck pieces, then you join in the back and do the stitches for the back neck. This is what I've read on the back pattern anyway, and then you go down the back. So it is all flat back and forth. There isn't a instruction for the reverse row, and looking at the picture and how my stitches are coming out, I'm not too sure if that background to the pattern is garter stitch or reverse stocking stitch. It does make a little bit of difference. I've tried both and I'm not too sure. I have messaged Fox and Folk and I'm still waiting for a reply, but I have done, and I've stopped in the middle of a row, which is very naughty. That's because I'm unhappy with it so far. I've done all the setups. I'm happy with my setups and I've started the pattern, but I think I'm going to unpick it and start again. I think it should actually be reverse stocking stitch, not garter. So I think I'll unpick it down to where I know I have the reverse stocking stitch. Otherwise I'm going to get stripes on it and I won't be happy. The yarn I have chosen for this in my woolly tangle bag is a Svarta Fåret Ulrika Natur pure wool, 50 grams, 100 meters. Doesn't say what wool it is. It is made in India, but it is a Swedish brand. So I don't know if it's a Swedish brand and they have it processed in India, which a lot do, I suppose. Svarta Fåret, Sweden. This is colour 327007. I'll put on the screen what the name is. I think it's Linden. It's heathered, soft green. There's the colour. I'm not sure where the focus point is on this camera anymore. And it is Ulrika Nature. Yeah, I'll put all the details down below in the description box so you can look that up. It's from Denmark. It's got a nice crunchy feel without being woolly wool. It's not harsh, but you can feel it's wool. I'm hoping it won't be too itchy, but then it's a slip over. I'm going to put things underneath it. I just love the colour. I'm often influenced more by colour than by yarn. So that's all bagged up, ready to go. I think I will be later on unpicking it all and starting again just to make myself happy. I haven't been happy with how it's going. I need to get it in my head what I'm doing. In the meantime, I hope Fox and Folk do reply to my message, but if they don't, I'll just make it up to what I feel is right. So that's the Baranduin scarf slip over by Fox and Folk, which I am really looking forward to having for the change of season. Hi, Rem. Hello, beautiful. Remy hasn't got his coat on today, but he has got a fluffy bum, so after this I may go and put his coat on. He's cold, poor thing, but the fire is lit, so he can go down and lie by that, really. Okay, my other piece of knitting I have been getting on with a little bit in between bigger projects, and something that doesn't need to think, so I can use it whilst watching the telly, is the double knitting scarf. And this is by Hello Hygge Life. It's a little keyhole scarf, and as the name suggests, it is double knitting, and I bought this along with my friend Tracy when we went to Unravel a couple of weeks ago, and it's from Zakami yarns. They had a sample, and it's done in natural fawn baby alpaca, 20% silk, 10% cashmere, from Zakami. I keep putting an extra I in there. This colour is undyed, and I have done, you can see how much it creases actually. I have done the little keyholes, and it's double knitting, which is it's like a one colour brioche or a knit one purl one rib without doing the purl. You slip the purls, and it makes this two-sided stockinette stitch. I have shown this in the past couple of videos, so that's where I'm at now, and I'm going to keep going until I'm through this ball, or I'm at the point where it would be comfortable through the keyhole and at the same length as the beginning of the scarf. Very easy knit to get on with when I'm watching telly or a film or something, or even YouTube. So that's making slow progress, but it is making progress. Of course, with double knitting, you're doing 2 rows for every growth of 1, but it is growing. Okay, that's the Baranduin and the Compton and the double knitting. That's all my knitting this week. One active piece of crochet I am working on. I've got a croaky voice, just excuse me a minute. I'm just going to have a drink. Sorry about that. The active bit of crochet I'm working on is my Buster Blues blanket by Cat Crochet. She has videos how to do this, and the pattern is with Black Sheep Wools. If you want to go on to Black Sheep Wool's website, you can download the parts of the pattern as if you're going to buy, but it's a free pattern. It's in 6 parts. Part 6 came out last week, and that is the border. Sadly, it's not an envelope border, so I have a few ends to be getting on with and sewing in, but I quite enjoy sewing in ends. I was up to the paw print last time, which is on the dark red, and I have done week 1, week 2, and I am up to there now. I just have to repeat these 2 rows and I will have finished week 3. I can then get on with week 4. This is using a Stylecraft Aran in, I think it's 10 colours. The edges look a bit wibbly, but I think because you're using so many different stitches, some stitches pull in a bit more. When you lay it out and give it a little bit of a wiggle, it does look level. It may not seem it initially, but it is. I will give it the lightest of steam blockings before I actually start on the border, which will make it sit a bit neater and also look a bit neater once all these ends are in. So I may sit down this afternoon and get rid of a few of those, a few at a time, and they're done then. I don't mind ends. So the 2 markers there are my front side marker and my progress keeper for you, which I will now move. It's a very pleasant pattern to be getting on with because you want to get on to the next thing, and it's a nice width. Let's see how wide that is. About 42, that's 107 centimetres at the moment. So that's a nice width to be getting on with. 2 more of that camel and I think it's storm. Repeat those 2 and then I'm done in week 3 and I can start week 4, which is very pleasing. And that's the I think that's the wrong side I'm showing you. No, it's not. It is the right side because it's my right side marker. I do love a mishmash blanket with all the colours because it all becomes uniform when they're all over the place, aren't they? And that's my bit of crochet moved on a bit this week, which gives my arm and my wrists a bit of a rest from all the knitting. I have been having trouble with my wrist this week. I did some extra stretches in my Pilates class on Tuesday. I've been quite on a fit hit lately, so that's good. And that is all my yarniness. So if you're not interested in the sewing or the sketching, I will say goodbye to you now and catch up with you next time. Now, my sewing, I did manage a bit of sewing, only a little bit. And you can just see these 2 over my shoulder. This is Matilda and Milo, Micicles, which were kits from Liberty Bell. And they were in my big basket of made up projects. So they're now out of my big basket of made up projects and they are ready to go on my little shelf, which I have there with Sadie and Patch, the other 2 Micicles. They're such fun little things to make. So Milo has little shorts with braces on and he has the tiniest buttons on the front there. I don't think I've seen buttons that tiny. I've got small buttons, but these are half the size of those. They're very tiny. And a little brush so he can sweep up. And Sadie, no, Matilda, Sadie's the other one. Matilda has a little bag of sugar, old mill sugar. And that's why Milo has a brush, I think, because she's making a mess with it. On the bag, which you sketch from a, put your fabric on the window and sketch through, it said £50, and I thought this little mouse isn't going to live £50, so I changed it to 50 ounces. And she has a shawl held with a pretty little button and a skirt and their tail. So that is Milo and Matilda. Yeah. Mystical from Liberty Bell. If you look on their website, they do an awful lot of little kits like this, and it was a joy to make. I really enjoyed making them. But that's another kit, another made up project, which is out of my project bag, which Willow's keeping an eye on over there. And the only other creative thing I've been doing this week is some sketching. As you'll have seen, I've been out for a lovely walk with Gwyn, and as I'm going round, I'm taking some notes. I've got a rough book reminds me of school when you had a rough book, but it is a roughy sketching book that I take with me. I write down in it the weather, how I'm feeling, what I can hear, what I can smell, what I can see, some notes of what's around me, some quick sketches, and from that I can make some more detailed pictures. I take photographs. You'll have seen these from last time. You can go back and see them last time. This week we went over to the heathland and I did a sketch of a heathland pool and some gorse the gorse has been wonderful. I think there's no month in the year that gorse doesn't flower. It's got a lovely warm honey smell, and the bees were all over that. And the other walk that you'll have seen at the beginning, we walked around one of the villages just over the other side of the hill from me, and we spotted a shepherd's hut in a field. There we go. So I did that because I thought that was a pretty little subject, and some catkins. Obviously I've got a few more things to pop in the bottom on these two bits. I'll fill up the pages. Like on that one, I did add a fir cone at the bottom. Just fills up little spaces. And the other night on the 3rd, I've forgotten which day that was, we had a full moon, and it was the worm moon. So I did the worm moon and a little tawny owl. They're not as noisy in the spring as they are in the autumn because they're not territorial, but they are nesting, so they are making a few little noises. And seeing as I've done an owl in my sketchbook, I thought I'd show you a couple of my owls which I've done in the past. I know I said to you slowly I will show you things that I've made in the past. I was going to show you by media, but I thought I might show you in subject instead. So a few of you will remember I did this Jenny Aidan Christie owl, this little goldwork owl. I finished him last year. So he's standing precariously on a vintage spool, but I can take him off that, and inside he is Natur. So that's a thimble and some pins, and his wings are the needle case. This was a Jenny Aidan Christie kit, which I showed you last year. I will link the video for you, and you can see my finish on him. I did enjoy making him. As we're doing the sketches, I thought I'd show you a couple of my paintings. These are pastel paintings. I've had to take them off the wall, so this is a barn owl, so excuse the lighting on it. I will insert pictures, I think. You'll be able to see it much better then. Yeah, if I insert pictures, you'll see them better. But he's quite a big one. So that's the barn owl. We get quite a few barn owls at the back of the garden. And here's my tawny owl. Oh, that's quite dark there. Looks like he's got a moon with my little light in the background there, doesn't he? I'll insert pictures for you without glass. Obviously they're protected, they are pastel drawings, so they have to be behind glass really. And another pair of owls I have done are also behind glass in felt. I'm going to turn that light off, I think. There we go. I felted some background and then stitched into it, and then felted on the owl, barn owl, sitting on his post. Again, I'll insert pictures for you so you can see them without the glare. I'm sure I've got some somewhere. And the other one is after he's taken off barn owl in flight. There we go. There's machine stitching and hand stitching. You can see the hand stitching there. Again, I will put the picture in. You can see how big they are. So I thought this would be the owl edit. And there's just a few of my owls that I've made over the years. I hope you don't mind seeing other creative bits than knitting and crochet. I am a multi-crafter, so there we go. Now I think I have shown you absolutely everything this week. I do keep it real. I don't rush ahead and try and make things content for you. You get to see what I've actually made this week. So that is that. I did say last week I was waiting for my blood results from my consultant, and she actually did get them. They sent the second lot to Southampton rather than Birmingham, so they came through quite quickly. I'm pleased to say I now have some neutrophils, so I have a tiny bit of immunity. Yes, which means I might not have to wear a mask quite so often as I do. I also have my molecular level test back, and they are moving in the right direction. This new chemo I'm on has killed off so many of the bad molecules that are making a mess of my chromosomes that I have 0.82 now, which has come down from a positive 19, which is wonderful. So this new TKI, which is my version of a chemo, is working wonderfully, and I'm so excited. I feel as though I've got energy, I've got a bit of life back. There are one or two side effects like the itching I take antihistamine for, and the headaches, but I can just go and have a lie down for those. Much better side effects than we had before, much more controllable, and I actually have energy. This week I've done 2 long walks with Gwyn. I've done my Pilates class on Tuesday for my flexibility. I have done my another round of 18 holes of golf in the sunshine for my stamina, and I have done some weights with Strength and Bloom for my bone density, which I am so pleased to be getting back to. And as I'm feeling quite fit and well, I can now sit on my bum and perhaps do a bit more on one of my projects in the other room where it's a bit warmer. It's 14 in here and quite chilly. I'm sure Willow in the background won't mind following me. She's my little shadow. So I hope you all have a good week ahead. Next week I will be in Cardiff. So if you watch the rugby, I'll be there thinking of you lot. I hope you have a good Mother's Day next week. If you don't celebrate Mother's Day for whatever reason, just have a good weekend. Make the most of the weather if it comes out nice. I have been to the garden centre and I timed it perfectly to get some little plants, but they are still indoors. I'm not putting anything out just because the sun comes out yet. Give that another month. A frost could come at any moment. So for now, I will say goodbye, and I will see you next time. Stay safe and stay creative, and I'll see you soon. Bye.